What's up everyone, it's Endymion, and when this video goes live, Mortal Kombat 1 will officially be available worldwide for fighting fans to enjoy. I've played the series my entire life, more so from a casual viewpoint than a serious one. I remember roundhouse kicking Shao Kahn as Scorpion on my Game Boy on the bus ride home from school. It's a series that's been with me for as long as I've played video games. Unfortunately, it looks like Mortal Kombat 1 won't be launching without any problems, with the Nintendo Switch version being terrible according to players who bought it. And I'll also talk about how NetherRealm Studios is punishing Russian players and much more, so let's get started. Firstly, let's start with a problem too common in modern gaming, which is companies releasing half-baked products into the wild while asking for full price. The Nintendo Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1 is proof that these practices aren't dying anytime soon. You don't need to be an expert to take one look at these side-by-side comparisons and immediately tell the difference between the Switch and other console versions is tremendously different. The Switch is obviously nowhere near as technologically advanced as a PS5, Xbox Series X, or PC. But even though NetherRealm is keeping their promise of bringing their games to Nintendo's platform, their players deserve better than this. Here's a clip from one user on Twitter showing how busted MK1 is on Switch. For a game to look this bad and have glitches that break the laws within it like this is sadly nothing new for gaming in 2023. But that's not the worst part of this undercooked version. What's crazy is that NetherRealm is charging the same price for the Switch version as the other console versions too. Meaning not only are Switch players getting a blatantly undercooked and laughably bad-looking game, they have to pay the same price, which doesn't make a lick of sense when you compare the two. This blatant taking advantage of customers is something that irks me to no end when it comes to companies and players. These companies really do think they can push stuff like this and just get paid regardless. My copy of Mortal Kombat 1 arrives on release day from Amazon, and honestly, the more I see on social media of the frustration of early access players, I kind of already regret paying full price for the game and I haven't played it yet. I'm sure it'll be fun to run through the campaign once I get the game on release. But I'm slapping myself on the forehead knowing I've paid for something that clearly isn't ready and I can't cancel my order since it's already shipped. One YouTuber named John Nebo showed some more footage of the Switch version and how NetherRealm is already trying to damage control the game from the get-go.
A video yesterday showing how bad Mortal Kombat 1 looks on the Nintendo Switch, and a lot of people didn't believe me, so I'm gonna show you more. But even the developers don't think it looks good because they will not allow you to use the built-in capture feature of the Nintendo Switch. Look, I am a huge Nintendo fan and I'm happy that we're even getting access to these games, but it is borderline criminal to charge the same price for the Nintendo Switch version of the game as it is for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. But here you go, enjoy. The sad part is, it actually doesn't feel terrible to play. It just really hurts my eyes. These are like PS2 graphics at best. This is definitely the worst that I've experienced so far. Shang Tsung's hair is terrible. It's just not meant to be on this system.
The fact NetherRealm purposely disabled the share feature for the Switch version is shady and disingenuous. Of course, this won't stop players who can capture the footage in other ways, but limiting your customers' ability to promote or share footage of the game they paid for is scummy no matter how you put it. This wouldn't be the first time a big game hasn't released on Switch and looked worse and been buggy too. Since Doom Eternal also went through this, and you guessed it, that version also cost the same as the other versions too. And if we look at some footage from YouTube channel Open Surprise, they compared the Switch version against the Xbox version mostly, and it's night and day in comparison. Also, on the next-gen versions like PS5, load times are almost non-existent, allowing players to seamlessly transition from cutscenes to fights, and matches online apparently don't take long at all to start up. On the Switch, however, players are reporting it takes upwards of over a full minute between picking a match and the Switch loading until you're actually in the game playing it. On Switch, also cutscenes that would normally transition instantly chug, lag, and break up the flow of combat constantly. And look, none of these things can be held against the Switch. It's obviously the weakest of the big three offerings right now. But all of this would be much easier to swallow if they just priced the Switch version accordingly. And it's sad to see companies taking advantage of entire player bases and giving them inferior products for such high prices. But sadly, like I said, it's nothing new when it comes to modern gaming. What I do find bizarre is that NetherRealm had MK1 ported to the Switch, but didn't opt for a PS4 or Xbox One version instead. When the install bases on those consoles are huge, and if the Switch can somewhat handle the new Mortal Kombat, why did the PS4 and Xbox One get left out of the party? Just a very bizarre flurry of decisions all around if you ask me, but I think the safest bet here is that if you're going to buy the game, don't buy it on Switch. Because this sort of quality should not be normalized or rewarded, especially when games these days in Canada anyway are starting to cost upwards of $80 or even $90 at release. And if I paid $80 to $90 Canadian for this on my Switch, I'd want to tear someone's spine out too. But it's not like the next or current gen, if you'd like, versions are pristine or perfect either. Here's YouTuber Maximilian Dude showing how core features don't work in Mortal Kombat 1.
So check this out. We're already running into another problem. I am pressing 2 and assist at the same time. I'm getting literally nothing. I'm actually getting literally nothing. No attack. Which is like, what? And this is a game where you call assist constantly. You call assist during attacks. You do all this stuff. Nothing. Does not come out. So, in this situation, I'm doing 2-1. I'm calling assist around the same time. And I'm doing back forward 4. It will not cancel into back forward 4 if I do it with precise timing. It won't do it. I'll do it late. Wait for it again. I'll do it late. Wait for it again.
Some might look at this and say, well, it's not that bad. But when your game is all about precision button inputs and controlling the fight through commands, having core features like this not work is something that should not be happening. Problems like these are equal to, say, playing a first-person shooter and your gun just randomly shooting nothing when you pull the trigger. Core features are called core for a reason, and it's clear that MK1 was not ready for release really. But obviously, Warner Bros., who owns NetherRealm, wanted the game to release when it did, because nothing matters more than to appease your investors and stock prices, even if it comes at the cost of the player experience, which again is far too common these days. And people are complaining that Megan Fox's voice acting for Nitara is cringe.
Can't help what we are. That we feed on blood doesn't make us evil.
Which I mean, yeah, what did you expect? This is the same company that put Ronda Rousey to play Sonya in Mortal Kombat 11, and when you compare it to that, the quality is about the same. Not saying it's good, all I'm saying is it's not surprising at all. But something I really dislike is how companies are punishing citizens for decisions that are out of their control. Obviously, you know, there's a war going on in Ukraine right now with Russia, and a lot of companies like PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and many others are boycotting Russia over their invasion. Well, you can now add Mortal Kombat 1 to that list since Russia and Belarus players have been mass downvoting MK1 for blocking their access to online matches and more. Not only can they not play online due to being blocked by NetherRealm over their country's involvement with the invasion, their pre-order bonuses they paid for don't work either. I know there will be those that will say good and they're glad Russia is being boycotted, but I think that's a very narrow-minded way of looking at this. It's not the citizens' fault that their government is doing what they're doing, and it's unfortunate that millions of Russian people are being boycotted and gated out of communities and services for something that they have absolutely no control over. Apparently, MK1 worked for Russian players during the stress tests, and a lot of these players voiced their frustrations about how even buying the game was incredibly hard to do as well, since most players had to create accounts with information from other countries just to buy the game from their storefronts. But even then, simply because they're Russian and, like I said, have no involvement in the invasion, they're still being punished. And since all of this review bombing and unrest, neither NetherRealm or Warner Bros. Has officially responded to any of this. They'll likely just ignore it and offer no customer support help to their fans in Russia, meaning any of these Russian fans who have bought the game or the pre-order bonuses from other storefronts, not because they wanted to, but because they had to, will have their concerns fall on deaf ears and their money not be refunded. This isn't even the first time this sort of thing happened either, since Starfield removed their Russian language options recently as well. And it's not like it just didn't have them to begin with, since PCGames.com even confirmed back in April that Bethesda purposely removed the Russian language from the game on purpose. And look, I know why companies like Bethesda or NetherRealm are doing this, because it's the politically correct thing to do. But like I said, removing support from Russia will only damage the citizens and not their government. You think Putin cares if Mortal Kombat 1 is available in Russia? As if him or any of his yes men are eagerly anticipating any video game or movie? This just harms regular people, and it's not like the Russian public haven't been openly protesting against their government over the invasion as well. But in order to stop myself from getting too political here, I'll just say that it's all just a big damn shame. I guess a bunch of Russian fans will have to use something like a VPN to trick NetherRealm systems into believing they're actually not Russian. But it's just tiring to think about. I feel bad for Russian players, but like always, the acts of a government always just damage the innocent, which is unfortunate. But it saddens me when I see companies virtue signal like this. After all, even in Mortal Kombat's case, they've also gone out of their way for years now to give the female characters less revealing outfits to appease weirdos on gaming websites. Yet the male characters are still oftentimes depicted shirtless, which is totally fine apparently. But I do find it interesting that whenever someone cosplays a female character from Mortal Kombat, they almost always go with the original, more revealing designs. And when I look at the Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1, it just reminds me of that god-awful port of WWE 2K18 which got roasted when it released on Switch. And it was so bad that for a time it was pulled from the Nintendo eShop because of its quality. We should also just quickly speak about how Mortal Kombat 1 is going to be yet another live service game being released in 2023. It's been designed from the ground up to ensure players grind and spend as much time as possible playing the game to maximize the game's potential. So, yet again, we have a big AAA game that was deliberately designed to make things that should just be available into rewards. And I put that word in quotations in order to keep people playing. Look, I get it, these big games need to make bank or they're considered a waste of effort in publishers' eyes. But it's frustrating to see so many of these big AAA games being transformed year after year into experiences designed to drain our wallets and consume all of our free time and then some. Of course, I'm not saying Mortal Kombat 1 doesn't offer loads of content. It does. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't groaning just a little bit at the sight of yet another live service game being available. And it worries me to see so many big games adopting the same model, as every game from Diablo to Destiny, Mortal Kombat, and even stuff like the delayed Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League are all live service games. And it pains me to see so many games that could have just been great and solid at release needing to find every way conceivable in order to funnel more money from their fans' wallets. Marvel's The Avengers, for example, could have been a solid single-player game with some co-op, but it had to be live service, and now that game's dead as hell. Suicide Squad got delayed and people thought maybe it was to remove the live service elements. But according to PlayStation Lifestyle, who has the most current article about this as of the making of this video, those live service elements are very likely going to stay in the game. So it seems no matter what I say, do, or think, games like Mortal Kombat and many more are going to all chase that Fortnite, Destiny, live in our world, always online, chase the golden goose nonsense instead. And I can only imagine the thousands of cosmetics that'll come to Mortal Kombat 1 during its lifespan that'll be designed to prey on FOMO and players' goodwill, only for the next Mortal Kombat to release and all of this to happen again anew, and the cycle will just keep continuing. More season passes, more guest characters, more packs, and the more money these things make, the more these companies will push them. It really astounds me how much Mortal Kombat has changed from those innocent years of me as a kid on my school bus fighting enemies as I scaled the tower, to the game becoming more of an online casino resort with shiny lights and flashy outfits everywhere instead. But it's as they say, I guess, you either evolve with the times or you get left in the dust. But the situation Mortal Kombat 1 is in right now is nothing new for gaming really. There's glitches, shoddy ports that cost way more than they're worth, and DLC trailers being released months before the game's official launch even happens. While I'm sure I'll enjoy my time with MK1, I can't help but feel like NetherRealm could have done this launch better. And once you buy all the season passes and character packs, by the time you have full access to everything Mortal Kombat 1 has to offer, the end price will likely be in the hundreds once it's all said and done. But that's, of course, modern gaming in a nutshell. And Mortal Kombat is too large a franchise to not succeed, so NetherRealm, like always, will get away like bandits and people will just keep buying. But that's all I got for today. As of now, Mortal Kombat 1 is peak modern gaming in a lot of ways, but at least it's not completely broken at launch like other games. It's pathetic that the bar for quality control is so low these days, but all I can do is try to keep these companies accountable. As always, thank you for watching, subscribe for more in the future, like the video to help the channel out, and have a great day. I hope you enjoy the game if you do play it, just maybe don't play the Switch version, and with that, I will see you in the next one.